So join the new Green World Order, and you can ensure for generations to come, our generations, we'll be carrying out the New World Order agenda. And remember, the only thing we hate the most is people waking up. I don't know. So it's a sham. Whoever you voted for today, it's been a waste of time. Declare your own sovereignty and take charge and responsibility of your life again, because we know what these people are like. There are a lot of people out there who are tirelessly beavering away, chipping away at the New World Order block, and they're winning. We are winning. Just you listening now, the intention that creates sends out a positive vibe. We love the world and we love humanity, and this is why we're doing what we're doing. As I say, there are a lot of people out there that do. Let me get off my rant box. I'll get off my rant box in a minute. But there are a lot of people out there who are doing a great job. One of them is Glenn Zarmarnov from We Are Change, New Jersey. And we're going to call him in now and see if we can get him on the line. He is an author, MC, and filmmaker. And we're just going to see if we can get this chap on the line now. I've been chatting to him for a couple of hours this week, and he has some very, very interesting research and ideas about what's happening in the world. And some of his videos, and I've seen his film. It's excellent. I would recommend. So, Glenn, welcome to the show. How are you, Glenn Zarmarnov?
I'm hanging in there, just reviewing my notes here, nervously setting up this camera in an effort to get it out to my viewers on my YouTube channel. Since that's about the only medium I have left, my website is going under some reconstruction this month as the ownership is transferred, so I'm really under a lot of stress right now. But, you know, hanging in there.
Good. This is good. And your YouTube channel, just for a quick plug, is, what would that be?
It's youtube.com/wearechangenj. The website is wearechangenewjersey spelled out .org.
Okay, well, I've been telling the listeners you're an MC and an author and a filmmaker, and some of your friends describe you as a synchronistic scholar. And I know you do a lot of research into the New World Order symbology and what it means. What I wanted to talk to you specifically about was your research on 9/11. Now, we all know that it was an inside job, and the Big Truth movement is concentrating solely on the explosions, the reasons behind it, why the towers fell, Building 7, and this is all correct and worth investigating.
Yeah, the conspiracy aspect, yeah.
But you have been looking further into it, into the reason why you feel it was, as I do, a sacrificial event. So can you expand on that a little bit more?
Absolutely. Within my own movement here, which started out initially under the name Jersey City 9/11 Truth, it's now since evolved into the statewide We Are Change New Jersey movement, which is not just a 9/11 Truth organization, but we're anti-globalization, and we're, pro-sovereignty, and basically 9/11 Truth is just one conduit to this global understanding or awakening that's taking place. But yes, I've probed into some of the nether regions of the collective unconscious and have discovered what, as you said, were my worst suspicions. And I came across several bloggers who echoed this sentiment that 9/11 was indeed not only a government-sponsored terrorist attack, but it was an actual sacrificial ritual symbolically designed and woven into the fabric of space and time to forever alter how we think.
Yeah, it's you mentioned about the whole scene being set up many years before by the Rockefellers themselves, and the actual layout of the complex is significant. Can you explain what you mean by that?
Well, absolutely. The overhead view of the World Trade Center Plaza reveals these geometric shapes. You have, of course, the two towers as double squares, a prominent Freemasonic symbol. And, of course, Building 7, you have the trapezoid, or the unfinished pyramid, without a capstone, same way that Kennedy was killed at the apex of a unfinished pyramid, a trapezoid, in the street layout of Dallas, where he was
I understand.
killed.
I've noticed a few things about that. Yeah.
So essentially, we have the repeating symbolism of the pyramid. Same thing with the Martin Luther King incident. I was recently watching a documentary about that, and there's actually a memorial at the motel where he was murdered, and it's basically a monolith in the shape of, well, you guessed it, a pyramid, and it's even capped by a wreath, which is a circular shape, so it's the all-seeing eye at the top of the pyramid. So there's a whole bunch of symbolism going on. This repeating pattern, of course, they're leaving their marker, this triangle gang, if you will, the Pyramid Corporation, as it was referred to in the movie Watchmen. So they're right out in the open, flaunting their symbology. But going back to the World Trade Center, there's also, most notably, if you look at the plaza from atop, you see the fountain, which actually has 9 tiers or dashes surrounding it. And this one blogger in particular I came across from Winnipeg, Canada, Jake Cotsey, actually revealed something fascinating, that if you combine the Statue of Liberty Island, which is an 11-pointed star shape, and you add that inside the magical circle of the fountain, you essentially get 9/11, the Masonic ritual woven into the very fabric of these structures.
Well, we know that Kennedy may have been murdered for 3 or 4 reasons collectively. He gave a speech about secret societies. A lot of people are familiar with that. He began the process of ending the Federal Reserve. He began the process of pulling troops out of Vietnam. And there's many reasons why we think he was killed. But you could say that was a run-up, a kind of beta test for traumatizing the world, that the consciousness is focused on one event, and you think that's happened quite a few times in history, and 9/11 kind of was the
Here's the
cap
bottom
on
line,
that.
guys. Every so often, we're supposed to just go along with these incidents which happen coincidentally on critical holidays or key points. For example, the Christmas bomber, 7/7. You have the most recent example of false flag terrorism with the Times Square non-incident, it turns out. And of course, I'm still doing research into it, but it turns out he's the son of a retired Air Force general. So it's always the same story over and over again.
Yeah.
These people are always linked back to military families, military intelligence, and it's always a setup to basically further clamp down. They're now calling for tougher gun law restrictions. Mayor Bloomberg echoing the same sentiment as Obama chieftain Rahm Emanuel, saying that if you're on the no-fly list, which is a fraud, how do you get on the no-fly list in the first place? If you're on there, Michael Bloomberg is now proposing that you cannot own a firearm.
That's right.
So we're all terrorists, basically, because of this 9/11 incident. We're all suspects.
No trial, you're a terrorist, that's it.
Until proven otherwise.
Be anti-government, that's it. Yeah. Well, we know that Bloomberg, we know that the media in America, for example, and across the world have been prepping the public in a way to demonize the 9/11 truth movement and the Tea Party movement. So Bloomberg couldn't resist getting in a little quip about mentioning 9/11 truth movement in connection with that firecracker bomber in Times Square.
Well, that's the thing. I'm calling him the non-bomber because nothing happened. And actually, it was a Vietnam veteran who smelled the smoke and immediately identified that there was a potential explosive nearby, and that's why they swept everything out. So they basically were caught in the act, just like the passengers on the airplane with the underwear bomber, or non-bomber, since that didn't go anywhere either. They noticed that there was a guy filming the whole thing on the airplane, and they called their bluff, and now the government changed their story.
The whole flight, the camera was parked on him.
Isn't that a bit suspicious? I have